This trip to North Korea has been one of the most intense for me, travelers. What I've seen in these first 4 hours, explaining this on the channel will be tough, but I'll try. I've just arrived in North Korea, the world's most closed country. There's no internet, no Hollywood movies, and no one knows about social networks here. I spent months researching this country, and I suggest you do the same, whether you want to come here or not. I also want to make it clear that this is not a video about politics. I'm just a traveler with a cell phone who decided to come here and show you everything I saw and everything they allowed me to see. Today is October 24th, 2019, and in 3 hours, I'm leaving for North Korea, departing from China. Look at our belt. Wait, where did we come from? Seoul Gimpo, Carousel 2. I've never been this tense. I've taken hundreds, thousands of planes, thousands of flights, but this flight in particular, I've felt this way for 3 days. Poor sleep, worry, constant thoughts. It's a tense country, isn't it? I know there are a lot of nice people there, but it's a country we know very little about. I wanted to see it myself and know what it's like. That's why I'm going to North Korea for 5 days and 4 nights. Now I need to scan the suitcases. Oh my son, wow. I finally arrived in China. Welcome to Beijing International Airport Estivito. I can't believe I set foot in China, travelers. I can't believe I set foot in China. Hello Brazil, Brazil Neymar. I withdrew money here in 100 yuan bills to pay for my tour. This is Chinese currency. Did it work? I'm meeting Rome from the agency taking me to North Korea to pay for the tour, which is why I withdrew so much money. The tour isn't cheap. The tour is actually pretty expensive. I'll talk about prices later on for you guys. The round-trip flight to North Korea from China cost about 600 euros. The flight is just an hour and a half in economy, so it's not that cheap. Let me meet him, get my boarding pass, check in, and return. We briefly stepped outside Beijing airport to see what it's like. Look at the fog. Although there's a lot of pollution here in Beijing, I think since it's raining, it gets even harder to see. Look, you can't see anything at all. Everything is just a white background. I need to go check in now. Departures are on the 2nd floor, right? International departures. I think mine should be this way. I can already tell that here in China, very few people speak English. It's really hard to communicate. I ask about Air Koryo, Pyongyang, North Korea, DPRK, but no one knows or answers anything. The woman asked, Metro? Metro? No, miss, something else. I think communicating here won't be easy. In North Korea, I'll have an English-speaking guide with me the entire time, which is great. Maybe on this board here I can see which counter I need to check in at. I think it's this way, the same place where my flight to Hong Kong will be, it seems. I'm still gonna fly Cathay Pacific to Hong Kong. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Here, before checking in, you have to go through customs, like a customs check. Some kind of control here, let me see. I passed the check-in. It's deserted here, there's no one around. Air Koryo leaves from here, so we need to go through security first. You see that we have to go through some kind of x-ray inspection for our luggage, and then after that we can go to our counter. I didn't imagine that China was so intense, you know. With security. Let me find Air Koryo, I think it's E. So that's it. Time to check in here at the counter with Air Koryo. Travelers, I found a group from Singapore that's going there too. Got my visa, I'll discuss it in the VIP lounge. Let me get through security first. First security check is done. Now I have to board and get to Pyongyang. Not sure if they'll inspect my bag. What is airport security like in Pyongyang, North Korea? I researched a lot about this, but I didn't find any videos on the subject. Maybe no one has ever talked about it. Clearly no one has ever filmed it, so it's very hard to know what it's like, what it's going to be like. Soon I'll tell you guys. Look how much of a consumer Mrs. China is. Mrs. China, the consumer. Here are the lounges. I have access to 3 lounges with priority pass. One of them is Air China's. Let's go. Air China partners with Air Koryo, so if you fly business class with Air Koryo, this applies. You can use the lounge, or if you have priority pass like me, this is the lounge I access with my card. I'll grab my bag, which I left here, so I can eat there. Look at the beautiful view. Taxis are dropping people off and the airport is huge. This must be Chinese Coke Zero, right? Black top, red body. Salad, Chinese chicken and rice to feed myself. These dumplings, I think they're good. Surprise dumpling. I recognized it was chicken. I asked the lady, chicken, and she confirmed. Chicken. That's it, travelers. Boarding starts now at 1:30, and I have half an hour until boarding. Soon I'll be boarding the Tupolev 204, which was a plane used back in the Soviet Union. This plane was very common. Check out the spitting, huh, China? I'm definitely in China. I've never flown this airline, so this flight should be interesting. I don't know how different it is from the others, you know, for you to fly as a passenger. But clearly it's a plane that, in the West, we don't use anymore. Actually, it was mostly used on this side here. Soviet Union and the East. The check-in woman was very nice. I requested a window seat and got an emergency exit with a window since I asked if it was possible. She said it was available and I pointed out, see? People don't ask. If you did, you might get it. So just ask to switch seats. Is there an emergency exit or a better seat? Sometimes, if the check-in attendant is in a good mood, she can help, but other times she doesn't have the authority. If she has the power, is in a good mood, and you're polite, why wouldn't she? Mine did, and it was great. So now let's fly to North Korea, to the city of Pyongyang, the most closed-off capital in the world. My flight is right over there at gate 4. This airline is the only one-star airline in the world, the only one with just 1 star. Yes, that means it's the worst airline in the world, but is it really? Estevito decided to draw his own conclusions. Let's board. Look at the line. This flight will definitely be packed. There's a Toronto flight, but that's not mine. I'm on this one. See, Pyongyang. Hello? Thank you. Hello. Are the number 21s over there? Thank you. Picture someone nervous. That was me. Actually, I didn't manage to film much, no. I checked for a security card, but it was enormous. You'd have to read all of that, and I admit that nobody would have the patience to read that whole card, right? The plane, my son, was clearly old, a classic Russian model. I never dared walk around it with a camera. I walked around a bit to see what it was like. The flight was packed. In the middle of the plane, there were about 50 North Koreans who must have been working in China, I think. You can tell because they all wear that pin, which shows they truly live in North Korea. After 14, everyone has to wear it. I edited some photos, then went to the bathroom. When I arrived, I wanted to show you the most unusual airplane bathroom I've seen. The toilet was very low and everything was really old. You can clearly see that there was no retrofit, that it hasn't been retrofitted. What also caught my attention was this sink. I thought this sink was really unusual, really crazy. Oh, I can't forget the turbulence. There was so much that I glanced at the flight attendant, so she was nervous, and it made me really nervous too. We cried a lot, but we made it. Dozens of officers waited on the tarmac watching as we got off the plane to see if everything was okay. It was a lot of pressure too. They actually opened my PC without me giving them the password. I don't know how they did it, but they opened it, searched everything. I deleted junk, photos and videos. There was nothing left to worry about. Everything was fine and under control. Then I met my guide. I asked if I could film, and he said it was fine. The airport is really beautiful, very modern. It was built about 6 or 7 years ago. Wow, look at the size of this hotel, travelers. I never expected to be here. I'm checking into my hotel in North Korea for a 4-night stay. I'll talk to you more from the room, but this is unlike anything I've ever seen, done, or felt. I can't explain it. I left the elevator. There are 4, but I think only 2 worked. The hotel is huge. It's gigantic with about 30 floors. They put me on the 25th floor, saying it was good for me to take pictures and that I would have a beautiful view of Pyongyang. I was really happy because bloggers love this. My room is number 9, so it must be this way. It must be this one. Look, my son, it's a card. Things here are high-tech. I'm already surprised by several things that I'll tell you about. Wow, my room, look how beautiful it is. Wow, this is crazy. They said you can even smoke in the room, guys. That's crazy, right? That's crazy. There are 2 beds and a minibar. Let's check what's inside. Empty kettles, some coffee. This place is so nice, and there are blankets, right? If it gets too cold now, it should get colder. Hangers, pillow, shoe cleaner, and this outlet, Travelers, it's the same type as in China. I like it since you can use almost any charger. In Japan, before I checked the outlet, I bought a 100 reel adapter but returned it after learning the outlet fit the Brazilian plug and decided not to pay that much. I haven't seen my room's view yet. I want to see it with you. Let's see. I'll turn off the light so we can see together. Let me open this. I have to admit, the view is beautiful. From here, we can see the unfinished hotel with the projections that began construction in 1987. It's impressive. It's really very, very beautiful. I found it interesting that these lights and several buildings were all off and turned on about half an hour ago. You can see there are only a few lights on, you see? There's just one light here and there, in a building that's, I don't know, 30 stories tall. Some floors are completely dark, but there are more lights on than I thought. I have to admit, the experience has been really cool. Now the bathroom is something pretty rare, you know? They mixed Western style with Eastern style. There's some nice amenities like a toothbrush and toothpaste, but the shower stall hasn't changed at all. Or the bathroom floor here, I think it's kind of a Korean thing. There's something for you to take a bath with a cup, and there's a faucet here. The shower is pretty modern, right? Just like that, cool, there's this mixer. From what I saw, it's just one mixer. That's really nice. The towels, let me talk to you for a minute. Why couldn't I film on the plane? The flight attendant told me not to because of airline policy. Taking photos or videos could have consequences. At that moment, I stopped filming right away. There's no way you really get, not even Wi-Fi works, not even Wi-Fi. Then I even thought about deleting the files, but I said, well, let's see, let's take it easy. I finished my flight, but the plane is a really old one. Really old. It's a Tupolev T-104, a Russian plane. Air Koryo has 20 planes. We saw almost all of them on the tarmac when we arrived, but I didn't film anything. The airport was beautiful, and the 3 open stores were all very nice. Leaving the airport, I didn't have the freedom to film whatever I wanted. I turned on the camera. He said, you can film later. It'll be cooler and prettier. I replied, okay. Afterward, we had dinner at a restaurant that he said was truly local, not for tourists. See how it went. My first stop was a typical Korean restaurant to try their food. Look at what they offer. I'll ask him. There, tell me, what did you order?
This is fried chicken.
Okay.
This is a potato noodle.
Potato noodles? Really? Okay. Cucumber. There's some fried pork here, and also raw meat, travelers. Look how cool, there's seasoned raw meat. Look at all this food, travelers. It's a lot, really a lot of food. They eat here with several mixed little dishes, Very varied, I like to see that. I'll even try one. This is their French fries. Hold on, Did you hear the sound? French fries are just as good as others. Here are some North Korean dumplings. Let's try them. They're spicy, really spicy. One thing they love here, which is very traditional, is these cold noodles, called cold noodles. The food here is so greasy that the chopsticks keep slipping, since they're made of metal. Let's see, it's cold. You have good food. You know how to eat well. He wants to put vinegar in my food no matter what, Brazil. Let's go. Let's check this out. More food, watermelon. I feel almost Korean. I was doing it all wrong. You have to mix it.
Mix it well.
Okay.
And the highlight is the soup.
Oh.
So you have to drink it holding it with both hands.
I'm embarrassed in Korea. I did everything wrong. Let's try again. Like this. It's good. Lots of flavors. Tasty, exotic. We ate. It was delicious. We're at this restaurant here. It's a really beautiful restaurant. There are lots of flowers at the end. There's a counter in the back playing a music video or something. And here they say there are a lot of weddings. A lot of weddings happen here, and the bride and groom sit at that table over there. I have to admit, this place feels empty. He said it's a local restaurant, but we're the only ones here. I want to make it clear that I'm not a journalist, I'm not a photographer, I'm just a traveler who decided to see with my own eyes what the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, or North Korea as we call it, is really like. I ask that you draw your own conclusions about this video, alright? It's important for you to remember that people are people. Regardless of the situation they were born into, regardless of the circumstances they live in, people are people. Tomorrow, I'm going to the most tense border in the world. I'm going to visit the demilitarized zone, which is the demilitarized zone where South Korea meets North Korea. Tomorrow will be more tense than today. See you then on this channel. Remember, you're amazing and can achieve anything. Shower, meet my guide for a chat. More tomorrow. See you.